Welcome to the Essential Host. I am your host. Now, this channel is mainly for hosts, super hosts, premier hosts, whatever you want to call yourself. This is for you. I run a short-term rental management company in the Poconos, and I figure I also own a few short-term rentals myself in the Poconos. I've been in the long-term rental game for a very long time. Also been managing for a long time. I figured I would embark the knowledge that I know because of the influx of people buying up short-term rentals and do not have a clue what they're getting into. So to save you or anyone else coming in the game some troubles, we're gonna go through, cleaning, picking management, how to set your rates, what you should expect in occupancy. We're gonna go through all of it in a realistic fashion. A lot of these hosts, a lot of these shows on YouTube virtually just give you ideas and don't help you get to it or solve it. So we're going to help you both from the host side and the management side because I'm involved in both. So what we're going to do here first is we're going to show you one property, the property being my own, just because it's easier to use this property as an example of what I made starting the property last year. 7 months last year, you get to see from when the property started to where it ended up the end of the year. Here, we don't try to become rich. We just try to live comfortable and do it in an easy fashion. That's what we call living good. So we're trying to help you live good. Let's get right into showing you what I made on one property that we started in June last year. And you get to learn from this property and your own and what to expect. The thing is, expectations are at an all-time high, and they really should be in the medium area somewhere, but it's hard to tell people that when it's their first time. So let's go right into it. Okay, so here we have it. We have the property was started in mid-June of 2021, and just wanted to show you until December what we did. And as you can see here, we did $22,000 from mid-June through December. Now here in the Poconos, there is off season. People don't want to accept that they're off season. Now this property, when I set up properties to put into short-term rental, I am not doing them just to become rich or to make a lot of money. So my strategy going into this is to gain reviews and gain occupancy. The most important thing was gain reviews and occupancy, because if I'm going to do this for the long haul, I want to learn from the property, but also learn from the guest and also build the property up. People, they'll start a property, they'll put it on Airbnb, get a bad review and want to take it off and start over. That's not do this. So we started the property in June. We made $22,734 through December. Now here in June, we made about $3,200 to start. Now in the Poconos, June through September really is the premier months to make all of your money, because the rest of it, the winter is decent, but not so much. Spring and fall is tough to make money in the Poconos because it's seasonal. It's just the way it is. So coming into the Poconos, you have to realize that the occupancy rate for most of the Poconos is around 54%. So if you're not coming in thinking it's seasonal and you're gonna make this amount and you're calculating the amount of money you're gonna make a year based on June, July, and August, you're sadly mistaken. So here we are in June, we made about $3,200. In July and August, we made around the same amount of money, so about $4,800. But keep in mind, this is only for Airbnb. I'm not showing you what we did in VRBO or Booking.com. This is purely what we did on Airbnb. Now, so of the $2,200, I'd say my monthly upkeep for this house when it's occupied, because it's important to know that I calculate my expenses based on it being occupied, whether it be electric uses, whether it be having to pay a fee to the community in which the house is per guests, etc. So my monthly fee when it's occupied for the number that I use is 12 days um in the off season. So 12 days in the off season. Everything else that I make in the in the high season, it's fantastic for me. I don't care to calculate because it only matters. Off season is the only thing that matters to me because high season, you don't have to sell high season. It's high season. You're going to make money in high season. So nights booked is 113 nights. Unbooked is 64. This 64 number, it's not really what that is, simply because we had VRBO, we had word of mouth, and we had booking.com. So that number, well, listen, if we're taking this for what it is, it was still a very good 6 months, regardless to what number we're using. So this is the number we're using. So we're unbooked 64. Now, this is what I cared about mostly, the occupancy rate, which is 64%. Now, a 64% occupancy rate in the Poconos is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Now, this property wasn't set up to maximize profits. Otherwise, that number would have dropped, simply because when you try to maximize profit, you usually drop in occupancy. But it's less turnaround, it's less that you have to pay the cleaners, etc. It's all relative. But my goal here was to do high 60s occupancy, which is what we achieved here. The total cleaning fee was almost $5,000. When I calculate my expenses and my price, I do not calculate the cleaning fee. The cleaning fee to me is not mine. It's separate from what I'm doing. So I don't even calculate the cleaning fee, even though sometimes the cleaning fee might be higher, so some of it comes back to me. That number is insignificant. I calculate it without it, as if I'm paying the cleaners, which I am. But if you're doing it yourself, you still do it that way. You still calculate it as such. So just to start this channel off showing you, and we'll use this property going forward to show you what we did in last year, what we did significantly more this year, simply because the property already got enough reviews, and the occupancy rate was high. So Airbnb then was pushing the property during high season, simply because A, we got good reviews, and B, they like to push properties that they're usually not booked at around this time. So if they can do an emergency, if there's one weekend not booked and someone looks at it, they're going to push it to them very hard. So this is just very simple. Of this number, 22,700, I'd say we walked away with 14. I'd say truly we walked away with 14 from this 22,734. We walked away from this. The profits on this was about, I want to say 14, but it could have been higher. It could have been 13. It could have been, let's say, between 13 and 15. So this number that you usually see from everyone that shows you this beautiful number right here, no one walks away with that number. Yeah, it's a nice number to see, especially doing that in 7 months for a property that had just started that year. So this is the kind of thing we're going to show you going forward. We're going to teach you the kind of furniture to get in your property, the types of cleaners, how to interview cleaners, how to interview management company, what to put in your property, how to determine your occupancy rate, all of the little things that no one tells you about that you then have to Google and try to figure it out by yourself once you own a property that you're doing a short-term rental. So this is the Essential Host. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that, so the channel can get some push and it'll be shown to other people if it's stuff you like. If you don't like it, don't even recommend it. Don't worry about it. But we'll see you next time for the next one.